What up, Raffleaders? Welcome back to my channel. We are back at Providence. We're looking at the bridge, the entrance ramp to the access road to the Demerara Harbor Bridge, the new Demerara Bridge. We're back on Heroes Highway. This is behind me is Heroes Highway South, and in the opposite direction that's Heroes Highway North. And what I want to do is to show you what is happening with this entrance ramp, how far they've come, and what it looks like from both the Heroes Highway end and closer to the middle, which I showed you some time ago, where they were building a road through the access road to Windsor Estates. So they had destroyed Windsor Estates and built the access road right across Windsor Estates. And I'm waiting to see whether they would restore Windsor Estates Road, that road for the people who live in that neighborhood to get back to their community, or whether they would build an overpass, or how they would solve that problem. So that's what we're here to do this morning. We want to find out what's happening with the new access road to the Demerara River Bridge. So let's go. So guys, this is the entrance to the access road, where they're building a roundabout. Right, they're building a roundabout here at Heroes Highway. Traffic coming towards us is traveling north towards Georgetown on Heroes Highway. You know that Heroes Highway this morning it's about 7:15. So this is not even rush hour, but I guess from 7 to 9 is rush hour. This traffic is heading to Georgetown. These guys, 7:15, the workers have arrived, but they haven't started working. And as you can see, they're still working on the drains on both sides of the Heroes Highway. So these are the drains that they've been building for a while. Notice they're widening the road at this point. It's beginning to look like a roundabout. This is the east side of the road. Remember when we started looking at this, they were building a culvert. Now that culvert is buried under all of this red clay and piles of chipped rocks. And all of that is going to be fashioned into a roundabout in the coming weeks and months. Today is the 21st of July, 21st day of July 2025. And this is the other side. That is the west side of the road. You can see this is also where they're building a long drain. They're widening the road, and then they're fashioning what looks like a off-ramp for traffic coming towards the highway. And way in the distance, you can see the new Demerara River Bridge. Now it's about a week now since I've visited the bridge, and there were still gaps, I think, the last time we were there. But now you can see that those gaps might have been closed. We're going to go back down to the bridge, take a look at what it looks like later on. But what you can see here is that the road, the access road, is already taking shape. So that's the surface. You see these trucks are now sitting on the access road. So they've made some progress. Right, they're building an access road 2 miles long. The bridge is 2 miles away at this point, 2 miles away from where I'm standing. And that road extends from the bridge, from the ramp, all the way out here to the Heroes Highway. So what we have is piles of sand here at Heroes Highway, but we can see it's already beginning to look like a roundabout. Now let's see if I can get close enough to show you. Right here on the east side, you can see they're already beginning to lay the foundation for this roundabout. Right, there is a exit lane, it seems. They've built an exit lane to get onto the roundabout. And here you can see it's wider. Right, they've built a wider exit lane to get onto the roundabout. And you can see the roundabout beginning to take shape. There's still piles of chipped rocks to be spreaded that eventually, I guess, get onto the roundabout. And you can see the same thing happening on this side. This is the west side of the road. They are building up the surface of the roundabout. Workers are beginning to assemble now. But behind them you can see the drains. Alright, you can see the drains that the workers are working on, but you can also see the shape of a semicircle beginning to emerge. Right? And there's a road, so that's the access road. So this is beginning to take shape. It's doubtful that this is going to be completed before September 1st. But you guys can tell me in the comments below whether you think this is going to make it. Here is where it is on the 21st. Right, the 21st of July. We're heading into August in another week or so. And there you can see in the distance, that is the bridge. Right, that is the Demerara River Bridge, the ramp to the bridge. Way in the distance. 2 miles away, as a matter of fact. Now what we're going to do is get closer to see what is happening at the Windsor Estates road. So there's a road running north-south that they actually had to demolish because this access road to the bridge cuts straight across that community, that neighborhood, and they had to demolish the road so that they could build this access road. And I want to see how they're going to solve that problem, whether they're going to put a T-junction and make that another entrance point to the bridge, or whether they're going to build an overpass, or whether they're just going to cut those communities off from access to the bridge and to the neighborhood at this point. But this is what it looks like, guys. This is what it looks like here on the 21st of July. See the clouds coming up. Still rainy season in Guyana, although it hasn't rained in the last 2 days, at least not consistently. Rains aren't over yet, and so we're expecting some more rains to come up. But what is the issue here? The issue here, guys, as I said before, is that this is now one of the busiest highways in Guyana. This is Heroes Highway. And by putting a traffic circle across one of the busiest roads you can only create congestion, traffic congestion, and traffic jams at rush hour. Now, that is my hypothesis, and we're going to wait to see exactly how that plays out in a few months when they complete this road, this semicircle, that roundabout. But this is what is happening here. And I'm going to keep you updated on that solution. In other words, what they do once the road opens. But this is what is happening here at the intersection with Red Road as we make our way towards that midpoint or middle point of the access road. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana. Later! This is Red Road. And Providence in the background. The village of Providence. Share this, guys. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana. What up, Rafalitos? So we're approaching the midsection. It's not the middle, but closer to the middle than we were at Heroes Highway of this access road. And we want to see what solution they're applying to this intersection, whether they're going to make a T-junction or whether they're just going to cut off this neighborhood. So these houses that you can see in the distance, those houses are part of the Windsor Estates, right? The Windsor Estates community. They're building multi-unit condominiums in the compound. On the other side here, this is Sheriff Housing Development. And we just entered this access road, which is close to traffic from Red Road. All right, they're actually rapidly building houses in this neighborhood. I promise to give you guys an update on housing in Guyana. I'm gonna have to make a series of videos on all the new housing developments in this neck of the woods. That is on the east bank and the east coast and so on. But for now, I just want to show you what is happening here at this access road that's being built to the bridge, the new Demerara River Bridge. Now I just show you what is happening at Heroes Highway where they're building so now the plane passing overhead. Let's see if you can catch it. That is probably heading towards Ogle Airport. Ogle Airport is just about 10 kilometers from where we are right now. But yes, what I'm saying here is that these guys are building an access road to the bridge. And what they did is they demolished a section of this road that runs outside of this estate, Windsor Estates, outside of this neighborhood. Right, this is Sheriff Homes. Right, Sheriff Homes. So what they're actually doing is putting an access road all the way through this neighborhood to Heroes Highway. In the distance, that's Heroes Highway where we were standing. Right, we're standing just at that junction where they're building a roundabout. And I've come down here to show you what is happening at this point. Right, this is closer to the bridge We're still at least about a mile and a quarter, maybe a mile and a half from the bridge at this point. We're not in the midpoint exactly, but it's closer to the middle of this access road. And this is the construction that's going on. So they've actually built up the retaining walls for the drains that they were building, and now they're filling in the space between the retaining walls with sand, which is eventually going to become the foundation for a road, right? So what we saw earlier in our previous video, you want to go take a look at that previous video to see exactly what we saw, is that they were building the road between the retaining walls, and you saw that they completed it, more or less completed it. They have trucks standing on the road at that point. But here you can see now they're just building up this deep foundation. This truck actually got stuck. He's spinning his wheels. He got stuck in the sand, but that's part of the construction, I suppose. So what they're doing is they're filling in this area between the retaining walls with sand. So I guess that eventually you can see that they're building a road. So this is where they are at the midpoint or closer to the middle of this access road. Again, what you're trying to do is to judge what the road is looking like as it's being completed, and trying to estimate how much time it will take to complete this road. So at this point it seems as if, you can see, they've built actually a considerable section. If that is the state of things further south, then they seem to have built up the road to its probably final height in that area, and now they're just working on this section, which is basically the intersection of this access road with the local street, right? Remember this local street, and this is a brand new street that they built only a few months ago, right? This street was paved only a few months ago, and now they're tearing it up, demolished it, so that they can put this access road through this neighborhood. And this is what it looks like on the 21st day of July 2025. And that's looking east, right? That's looking east towards Heroes Highway. And beyond this construction site, it's about a quarter of a mile to a half of a mile to get to Heroes Highway from here. Remember, I started out over there and walked all the way over here, and this road now passes beside this local neighborhood, which is Windsor Estates, right? This is the back of the houses in Windsor Estates. The question is, how is traffic on this access road going to affect the quality of life of these neighborhoods? Somebody commented that this is actually a rich neighborhood, one of the wealthier neighborhoods in the country, and what they're doing is putting a very busy access road to the bridge through this neighborhood. That's the bridge you can see. That's the bridge you can see in the distance. All right, that's behind all of these buildings. But what it's going to mean is that there's going to be a heightened level of pollution, amount of pollution in the neighborhood because of all of the exhaust gases from vehicles. There's going to be particulates, there's going to be noise, right? There's going to be traffic noise, and there's going to be environmental toxins, right? Things like carbon monoxide from the vehicles, carbon dioxide, and some of the heavy metals that normally become airborne. These guys are trying to free this truck. Apparently it got stuck in the sand. Typical regular engineering work. But yes guys, those are the issues that are being addressed here as we look at a Monday morning at this work site here at Providence. So that's what's up guys. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about the construction of the access road here to the Demerara River Bridge from Heroes Highway to the riverbank, and tell me when you think this road will be completed, the access road that is, because the ruling party wants to use this bridge project as part of their campaign strategy. These guys are moving this truck. Apparently the excavator, quite powerful, is using a chain to pull this truck out of the sand where it got stuck. But yeah guys, that's what's happening in this neck of the woods. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people see what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world. And might I say, this is the largest, biggest, most expensive construction project in Guyana today. This access road to the Demerara River Bridge. And as you can see, they are making progress. The last time we were here, they hadn't yet built a road. They were still working on the retaining walls. But from what you can see now, not only is the road visible, you know, they're filling in the space between these retaining walls, and they're, I guess, still working on this drain. So that is out to the highway. So let me show you what's happening here. Out to the highway. That road goes out to the highway. And this is what it looks like at this point. This is what the access road looks like here. I guess they've had to fill in the drain here to give this excavator a way to cross over and fill up the space that is to build the foundation of the road, the access road. But this is what the access road looks like today on the 21st day of July 2025. Tell me when you think this is going to be completed. Tell me what you think about the issues that I've raised here, putting this access road through this neighborhood, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the country. How do you think that is going to impact quality of life of the people here? And what do you think is going to be the solution to this road through the neighborhood? Because they've actually cut off access.
Attention, low battery.
They've cut off access to the neighborhood from the south because they had to split this road. Tell me what you think they're going to do. Are they going to build an overpass? Are they going to leave the neighborhood
Attention, low
unconnected,
battery.
disconnected? Or are they going to build a T-junction which creates another access point to the bridge? Those are the issues that we're looking at this morning. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana.
Attention, low battery.
Later!
Attention, low battery.